welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, October 2nd, 2019. I am Yvette Boynes with the details. One day after murder-accused Veron Primus escaped from Her Majesty's prison and 4 prison wardens were taken into custody for questioning in relation to the prison break, measures are being enforced at the prisons to prevent other escape attempts. This is according to Superintendent of Prisons Brenton Charles, who told SVG-TV News today that himself and staff at the prisons were put in an embarrassing situation and are working to ensure no other prisoner escapes under their watch.
First of all, yesterday was an awfully embarrassing day for us, and it's also been a great teaching tool for us as well. As of today, we are ensuring that from here on, all our protocols, security-wise, have been followed, so that we can ensure that this sort of thing doesn't reoccur again in our prisons.
Superintendent Charles apologized to the public for the incident and said he is taking in good faith the criticisms being leveled against him and the staff at the prisons from the public.
I want to thank the public, really. I mean, they're keeping a very close and constant eye on us, really. I mean, sometimes it's critical, it's hard, but we're appreciative of all the comments, really, because we got to take from them the good and the bad and help to use it to improve our own security, in the prisons, actually.
Up to news time, 4 prison wardens who were picked up last evening for questioning were still in police custody as the police continued their investigations into the prison break. There are cameras monitoring the daily activities at Her Majesty's prisons, both at Kingston and Belle-Isle. SVG-TV News understands that video footage from these cameras at the Kingston prison where the incident occurred are being used to assist the police with their investigations. There are over 220 prisoners housed at Her Majesty's prisons in Kingston, and according to Superintendent Charles, there are just over 130 prison officers in the system.
The staff in total is 139 people in staff. We are not at maximum at this point in time. But having said that, not being at maximum, it doesn't give us an excuse for the embarrassment that was caused. Whether we are at maximum or not, sufficient that we are on duty, people are at work. There are certain protocols that we have to follow, basic routine things, and as long as we do those things, put them in place, we could avoid incidents like what happened.
Earlier today, the accused murderer Veron Primus, who is on remand at Her Majesty's prison, appeared in court and pleaded guilty to the charge that he escaped from lawful custody. He was jailed for 16 months for the offense. After a manhunt was launched for him yesterday, Primus is said to have contacted lawyer Jomo Thomas about his whereabouts, who reportedly met him at the grammar school playing field in the Richmond Hill area. He was handed over to the police at the headquarters in Kingston. Primus, 32, is awaiting trial at Her Majesty's prisons for the 2015 fatal stabbing of real estate agent Charlene Graves and the 2016 kidnapping of Moana Hathaway. He was deported from the U.S., where he lived for 18 years and where he was indicted in 2016, 10 years after the 2006 cold case strangulation of Brooklyn teen Chanel Petro Nixon. Police are investigating the death of George Coburn Samuel, a resident of Evesham, whose body was discovered on Tuesday night. According to reports, the 59-year-old farmer was last seen by villagers and family members on Sunday night. Samuel's body was discovered on Tuesday night in a shallow grave behind his house. SVG-TV News understands that Samuel's 20-year-old son was taken into police custody this morning for questioning in relation to his father's death. In a Facebook post today, Area Representative St. Clair Jimmy Prince said Evesham and indeed all of Mariquois mourned the sad passing of George, whom he described as a community man. Preparations are said to be well underway for a National Day of Prayer to be held on Monday, 7th October, under the theme, Giving Thanks at 40, to officially commence activities to mark this country's 40th anniversary of independence. The event will be hosted by the National Day of Prayer Committee in collaboration with the Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs. Among the activities scheduled for the day are workplace devotions, school devotions, prayer visits to state institutions, interactive on-air prayers via radio, social media poster prayer, diaspora prayer hour. The day's activities will culminate with a prayer rally at Heritage Square from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. The committee says the objective of the National Day of Prayer is to unite the nation in prayer. The Renewal at 40 committee, which is spearheading the month-long independence celebration activities this year, is hoping to promote a sense of national pride among all Vincentians here and abroad. At a media conference today, coordinator of the Renewal at 40 committee, Elvis Charles, said it is time all Vincentians embrace SVG as their own, and there is no better time to do so than this 40th independence anniversary.
Renewal at 40 celebrates our 40th year of independence from Great Britain, and we are hoping to do it with much pomp, fashion and style, making it participatory where all Vincentians can participate. We are trying to provoke that spirit of patriotism, love for country, where persons can show ownership, own St. Vincent. It is such a pleasant song to the ears when you hear people boast about their country and showing ownership for their country. I want, again, as we say, refocus. I want Vincentians again. We want Vincentians to start owning this country again and not leaving it to a few individuals to manifest that ownership.
Head of the Decorating Committee, Julian Pollard, said the decoration of Capital City Kingstown has already started and that key attention would be paid to 4 public buildings.
To be from Richmond to Fancy, all the way down to the bottom of the Grenadines and the top of the Grenadines, every nook and cranny, every gutty track, every highway in St. Vincent is going to experience Renewal at 40, visually and heartfelt. Special emphasis would be placed on the financial complex, the courthouse, the ministerial building, the market, and these buildings would be lit from the ground with mood lighting that would basically reflect the colors of our national flag on the buildings. So we can look forward to that. That is a new innovation, and I know that would create an atmosphere. The committee is also appealing to the commercial house.
The celebration activities will also include the annual Madongo Festival, Invest SVG's Everything Vinci Expo, Greg's Community Wild Meat and Breadfruit Festival, essay competitions, a national wear competition, a motorsports extravaganza, an agri expo, and the Sion Hill Pan Jamboree. There will also be celebration activities in the diaspora supported by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Cultural Officer Anthony Thibbles said he is pleased with the month-long activities, which include an independent song competition.
1 song per participant, and on the 12th we will do a preliminary round. On the 12th you can either just let your CD be played, or you can arrive in person with 1 accompanying instrument and present your song that way. The finals will be within the Everything Vinci Expo on the 27th. Right. I want to highlight the fact that there are 2 exhibitions happening in the month of October. The first one is the agricultural exhibition, which runs from the 16th to the 19th, and it is taking place at the old airport E.T. Joshua area in Annesville.
The Independence Military Parade will be held at Victoria Park on Independence Day, Sunday, October 27th, after which there will be a street parade. As the effects of climate change take its toll on the environment and increasing energy demand regionally, Locally, regionally, and internationally, green technology such as renewable energy is being examined and used to produce electricity and deliver it reliably. In SVG, the Technical College and St. Vincent Electricity Services Limited (VINLEC) have been using the on-grid or grid-tied solar systems to help reduce fossil fuels and to provide clean energy. One institution has, however, gone one step ahead in the use of renewable energy. The Richmond Vale Academy created history by producing 100% of its energy needs using both the grid-tied and the off-grid system. SVG-TV's Barvin Oliver tells us more about this accomplishment in this report.
The Richmond Vale Academy has made a name for itself, advocating for sustainable use of natural resources as a means to combat the impacts of climate change. The Academy was recently awarded the prestigious Social Enterprise Award at the concluded Sustainable Tourism Conference. And though it has taken 4 months longer than anticipated, the Academy recently announced that it's now using 100% renewable electricity. Director of the Academy, Stina Herberg, said while there were some challenges relating to funding and learning how the technology works, their perseverance paid off. She said the Academy is willing to share its knowledge and experience with renewable energy with anyone.
The building we are in right now has 120 modules. It's another name for solar panels, but the professionals like to call it modules. So it's 120 of them on this roof. They are connected to a battery bank, and here we produce enough energy for the dormitory and you can say cafeteria building. This building and system here is off-grid. Then off-grid systems is more complicated than on-grid. So, as we are an institution who would like to share various models and see what we can do that people can come and learn and get inspired and find the ways how can we get on board, we wanted to have an off-grid system and we also want to have an on-grid system.
With the events of 2013 still fresh in her mind, Herberg said it is important to have backup energy systems island-wide.
So this one completed about 2 years ago, and we've had many challenges where it worked, where it didn't work, how to get the equipment, how to get the funding. Something broke, we had to replace. So it took some time. Now, to just have an off-grid solution, what I see today is not just the solution. We need off-grid systems because when climate change strikes us and we get very big floodings and hurricanes, then we get landslides. Like in 2013, we were without water, everybody in North Leeward, along with 50,000 people in St. Vincent. 50,000 people lost public water, and we lose all the electricity. So we need to have backup systems around the islands. But that is just one part of the solution.
The Academy's off-grid system uses a battery bank consisted of 120 batteries to store the solar power, which comes from the solar panels on the roof. Giving a tour of the battery room, teacher at the Academy, Jasper Friss, explained just how much power is being produced from the off-grid system.
So the electricity is going through the wires there and into these two controllers. And they are then connected to the batteries. So they are controlling how much voltage and how much amp current is going into the battery. So you can see here now, right now this unit alone is providing 43 amp into the batteries. That is actually more than what the whole island of Maro is using. Okay? So if you have a blackout, you have that sometimes, we smile, because we are not.
For SVG-TV's Evening News, I am Barvin Oliver.
This month, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank will be observing Financial Information Month. The focus of the month is on insurance, and persons will be provided with information on this topic in all Eastern Caribbean countries, including here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking via a video conference on Monday, a representative of the National Insurance Service in St. Kitts Nevis, Erickson Cumberbatch, said citizens of member states of the ECCB need to plan for uncertainties, and insurance is key in this endeavor.
Financial sustenance. It means that we must be prepared to invest, and the various avenues of investment as it relates to insurance. And in this case, we speak specifically to life insurance and its various areas of investment. Therefore, there is the concept of endowment, where you put money into a fund, aiming at a specific target, which you will achieve later. And there is the aspect of savings, very important. Some people don't see insurance as a vital vehicle for savings, but it has that possibility.
Cumberbatch added that a person's security is paramount, and while it may seem costly, it does pay off in the long run.
Providing for financial sustenance as life wears on and as your finances deplete, as well as the need for protection. So we combine them together, and then you have security, you have stability, and you have availability. Proverbs 1:5 says, "A wise man will hear and will increase learning,